taking up too much time. I've been at Carolina Farmers now since September of 2022. Prior to that, I was the CEO of a company in West Virginia. I've been in the insurance business 40 plus years. Currently, work with a lot of other mutual companies in different states. I'm president of 3 insurance companies, the executive manager of a 4th, serve on 5 insurance company boards, and I mentor 12 other insurance companies on their software system called Brightcore, which is the system that Carolina Farmers uses. In 2022, Carolina Farmers went through, or has been going through since that time, a reorganization of the company operation. When I came in, I took over from the prior CEO, who was actually dismissed from the company, and I had been on their board for some period of time, and they asked me to step in, and I agreed to come in for a few years and see what we could do. Pretty excited about all of the changes that have been made at Carolina Farmers, one of which is joining the IMS system and being associated with them. But I wanted to give you just a little bit of a snapshot on the company itself. We've been around for a long, long time, since the late 1800s. We are located in Asheville, North Carolina. We're one state writer. Financially, we're very strong. Our marketing area, due to reinsurance issues and just the exposure that is created by various hurricanes, we try to stay away from anything east of I-95, and we're looking to expand westward on our current geographic areas. So that's one of the reasons that we partnered with IMS. Financially, the company is very strong. We're one of the strongest small mutual companies in North Carolina at this point in time. When we started going through the reorganization, we developed purposely to become more user-friendly with our agents and give them a much easier process to do business with us. And it certainly has shown since September of 2022, our volume has increased 72% over what it was at that point in time. So the agents are certainly responding to the changes that we've made. Some of those include we've added live chat to our program, which allows agents to chat directly with somebody in our office. It's a time saver for agents and our staff. We've added e-signature for our applications and other documents. We also currently have available a mobile app for the policyholders, which allows them to file a claim, request changes, make payments. It's a very elaborate mobile app. For a small company, it's probably one of the better ones that's on the market. We are now also offering agency download into management systems. One of the big changes we made on behalf of the agents was reducing the number of questions on our application. Angie is going to do a demo here in a little bit of what our system looks like and how it works. We reduced our application questions from 76 down to 22 to make it more effective and easier for agents to write business with us. Our quoting system is very user-friendly. It's a web-based program. You can access it from anywhere. You can get an internet connection, which makes it very easy to view documents, do quotes, make changes, submit claims. All of that is built right into the system itself. We also have superior service when it comes to underwriting and claims. We 8 months ago hired our first time ever in-house adjuster, and he's doing a tremendous job for us. The staff itself, which is why I agreed to actually come out of retirement and go to work there, is a tremendous staff to work with, and it's been a real pleasure working with them. One of the other things we've recently done is offer the opportunity for our policyholders to do a self-inspection program. We don't require our agents to do a physical inspection unless they just want to. But we do have an association with vendors now that we can send them a link, and the policyholder can self-inspect the property through this link and avoid some stranger having to come onto their property, which we think will be very beneficial for the policyholders themselves. We have also enhanced our website for agent access. We have also a video library of training videos on how our system works and how to function different aspects of it. Our system is totally in the cloud, so it operates fully with any internet connection, and it gives our agents direct access to view documents, claims, application processing, and any of the documents that is contained in the policy itself. We also offer a variety of payment options, electronic payments, ACH processing for policyholders, which makes it convenient for them. And we've added some value-added services for our policyholders. One program called EPOC, which is actually a legal services where policyholders can create wills, deeds of trust, pretty much post any legal document that they may need. And we have an association with VIP Home Link, which is a service that sends notifications out to policyholders that join them just to try to, it's actually designed to reduce claims, but it gives them helpful hints on how to properly take care of things on their home and clean their gutters and change battery and smoke detectors, those type of things. And those are all services that are provided to our policyholders. With that, I want to let Angie introduce herself. I apologize for the long-windedness on that. And we, again, appreciate all of you all joining us today. Angie?
You just have so much knowledge to share, Art. That's all it is. That's all it is. I'm Angie McMasters. I am in marketing and underwriting. I've been with Carolina Farmers since 2021. Before that, I was an agent and wrote for Carolina Farmers since 1999. I guess I'm giving my age away. So you can tell it's a good company. I've trusted it that long and I'm still with them. So I'm going to, Gina, can I share my screen so I can show them our quoting?
Yes, you should see the share feature at the bottom.
And I get my mouse to work right. Whenever you log into BrightCore, this is the screen you're going to be seeing. You'll look down here below, you'll see everyone that works there and what they do. Here is Art, and of course Iris is underwriting, Laura is our claims, and Mabel handles a lot of our billing and mortgage stuff, and Michelle, she is in accounting, and then of course me. And this way you can direct contact anybody you need to, and we run our underwriting by policy numbers. We go by last numbers. I'm even numbers and Iris is odd. So whenever you try to do a quote, whatever the last number is, that'll tell you what underwriter you can contact whenever you need help or what have you. I'm just going to go through a real quick quote just so you can see how easy our system is. Whenever you click on new quote, it's going to automatically give you a quote number. It's going to show your policy term, which you will be able to change. You'll put in your named insured. If they're not there, just create a new contact. You can tell my typing's not good today. When you're doing a quote, we don't require a credit score, but if it's an application, before you submit it, you will have to do that. On the next screen, here's where you'll pick what type of policy. And as you see, you can go in and it has descriptions of the different policy types. Here's where you'll put in your effective date.
Might mention that the system's running a little bit slower than normal just because we're doing this through the Zoom meeting. It normally is much quicker than that.
Well, working remote too is probably some of my internet too.
Yeah.
Here's where you'll put in your property address. If it's the same with the named insured, you can just click copy and it'll fill it in for you. Here's loss history. You can click get current loss history and it'll fill all that in for you. And here's your rating page where you can fill in your coverage A. And you'll want to make sure you go in and fill in your protection class and all of that. That's our biggest, I think, issue we have with a lot of people is filling in all that information. And you can see all your other coverages down through here. All this will fill in. A lot of it will when you fill in that coverage A. And there's your liability and med pay. And then you can just hit to rate and save. And of course, I didn't fill in anything, so it's not going to give me a rate. But you can see how simple it is to quote on here. It's very short. Up here on the right-hand side, where there's a Q and a A, once you go through the quote, if they like what the premium is when you're finished, you can just click this little toggle over to the application. Then it will open the application questions. And as you can see, there's not a ton. There's not a lot of questions at all. That's it basically. And then it goes right back into your coverages if you need to make, any changes to that. It's very simple. After you get through this screen, it's going to take you on over to attachments to attach replacement cost estimates, which we require, and you'll do your billing. And then at the end, you'll have an option to submit and do electronic signature. And we have several ways you could submit it. If you're not sure if we'll take it, you could submit it for underwriting review. You could submit it for claims review or credit. So we have several different ways that you can submit your policy if you're not sure that it needs to be submitted bound. And that's just basically it in a nutshell. It is very simple and easy to use, but me and Iris, we're always there. Anytime you have a question or you can't get through it, we can walk you right on through it. I think you could learn it really quick. If anybody writes for other agencies that have BrightCore, it'll be really easy for you.
Angie, we do have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Is the Social Security number required?
It is if you're going to bind it. You will have to have it.
Okay. And what are the guidelines for mobile homes?
We only write ACV on mobile homes.
Okay.
We won't do replacement.
A year that they need to be newer than, or?
Art, what did you set that as before? We don't get a lot of mobile homes because of that,
yeah.
But
On the Form 1s, we will write the older mobile homes up to 25 years old.
Yeah.
And if it goes on the Form 2, it has to be 15 years or newer on that. And just a comment on the Social Security number, we do require it, but as soon as it's input into our system, it becomes encrypted and we only see the last 4 numbers. We don't have access to that Social Security number at that point in time. And it stays encrypted at all times, so nobody would actually be able to see it.
Yeah.
Can you quote in the application phase without the social to pull credit?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You just have to put it in before you actually bind it.
It may be worth mentioning that we do, certain products are rated based on credit score. So that's one of the reasons that we pull credit score. They actually, with a good credit score, they get a better rate than they may otherwise. And it takes certain levels of credit score to qualify for a couple of the programs. That's one of the reasons that it's important to pull that information.
How do e-signatures work in your system?
All you have to do is there's a section there. I don't think I can get there in my quote because we're not filling anything in, but it gives them an option to put in the email they want it to go into, and then they click e-signature, and then when they submit it, it will send the e-signature out to the emails that they put in.
We use DocuSign, which is probably one of the premier e-signature vendors that's out there.
Many customers don't have social security numbers. Does the tax ID number work as well?
A good question. I'm not sure. Under a circumstance like that, I mean, we would certainly look at it. It's not an absolute mandatory to get it, but it does help with the rating and our underwriting review. In most cases, probably without social security numbers, we would want those submitted unbound to review all of the information.
What is the home and roof age requirements?
3-tab shingle is 15 years. Architectural and metal is 20 years. We will still take them if they're older than that. There will just be a roof exclusion until the roof is fully replaced.
Do you run credit on the application, which could change the premium?
I have seen it change it before, whenever they ran it. So
Okay,
Yeah.
but they have the option to run it at the beginning so that
Oh,
they
yeah.
know.
So there's no surprises. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they would not actually see the score, but they would get a result of like a pass-fail situation. And there's only certain products that the credit score actually changes. It's the higher level products that we offer, the better products. Some of the other products, the score does not affect the rate.
Okay. Since we're on the topic of credit score, what is the lowest credit score which with the policy can be bound?
650.
Yeah, we currently have that set at 650.
650. Okay. What are the guidelines for older homes? What updates are required?
You want to take that, Angie, or you want me to take it? We have the big thing that would come into play, depending on like the heating systems and the roof, obviously, and the electric, those type of things. We do have actual cash value policies that we can write the older homes on. They just may not qualify for the replacement cost policies that we have. But I mean, we have homes that are 70, 80, 90 years old, depending on the circumstance. We would want generally the electric and heating systems updated in much newer models.
We do replacement cost up to 1950, and we have done it on some older than that. Of course, it has to go through underwriting approval. We have done some much older homes that were totally gutted, and they had proof that they were totally gutted and new wiring, new everything. So it's just a case by case basis, depending on what's been done to the home.
That sounds very fair. Very. Is the replacement cost estimator within your system, or do they need to submit a separate replacement cost estimator? And are there only ones that you will accept?
We will accept them from any carrier. We do have it built in our system. It's on the quote system right after they put in the amount of coverage they want for coverage A and all that. You scroll down to the bottom and there's an E2 value that they can click on. They will have to download it once they do it and attach it because it won't automatically attach, but we will accept one from any other carrier as well, so.
Is the credit report that's pulled, is it a hard report?
No, it's not.
Okay, so soft. Okay. All right. That, okay, we have a couple more. They just popped in. What is the minimum and maximum coverage A for your homeowners?
100,000, I believe is right. Is that right, Art? For the
And
minimum?
some of the ACV policies, we will go down to 75 on those, depending on what it is. But yeah, for the upper level policies, 100,000 is the minimum, and then we can go up to. Would we just change that to Angie 560? I think. It was.
No, we changed it to 600, I do believe,
Okay, yeah,
because we changed our coverage C, so.
that's right. Yeah.
Is there a dwelling replacement endorsement that gives the additional like 125% of coverage A?
Yeah.
Almost like
We have
H.
that yeah, we have that capability. It's there is a premium charge for that, but we can add it onto certain policies. It's not available on all policies, but our better policies, it is available.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your farm owners policy? How much land, what farming operations are allowed?
It's 5+ acres is what we consider to go on a farm policy. I know we don't do chicken houses.
Yeah.
We will not
Poultry
do
farms.
those.
There's really no other restrictions on the type of farms that
Right.
we will write other than poultry and hog farms.
Okay.
We won't do the hog houses. I mean, we would write the farm itself, but just wouldn't do those particular houses. And you know, as far as the covering the equipment or the farm buildings, we even do barn dominiums. We've done a few of those as well, which seems to be popping up more frequently nowadays than what it had been.
Wow. That's it. There are a lot being constructed. Aluminum wiring or polybutylene plumbing, are either of those acceptable?
Aluminum wiring, no. We would take the plumbing, but it only qualify for certain policy types.
What is the maximum dwelling cost Carolina Farmers Mutual will cover? So the dwelling fire, I guess, is what they're asking.
Well, again, the 600,000 would be our max on that, and that's driven by our reinsurance coverage, you know, with the limitations on it.
Okay. What protection classes will you write?
I think we do them all, don't we?
All of them, yeah.
So up to 9?
Even 10.
Yeah. We do
Wow.
10.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. How about water damage coverages? What type of water damages are covered?
We don't cover flood, obviously. That would have to be under the National Flood Program. But as far as water damage coverage, I mean, anything that, depending on the policy type, of course, does vary somewhat, but broken water pipes, you know, those type of things are covered. We have the opportunity for backup of sewer and drain can be added, but you know, certainly no surface water, runoff water, none of those are covered, which is pretty standard on the insurance policies.
Any stipulations as to where the placement of the water heater in the home? I know some carriers will not write it if it's in the attic.
Yeah, we've not placed any stipulations on that at this point in time. I could see the issue with it being in the attic, but you know, at this point we have no restrictions on it.
Okay. And then any coastal property options, which I think you should know. Yeah. Okay, any other questions for Art or Angie at this time? Okay, so I don't, yep. What losses would not qualify someone? Do you,
Generally speaking, multiple losses within a short period of time. And then large or total fire losses where they've been canceled by their prior carrier. We would not be willing to take. It probably may be worth mentioning that I've got 40 years worth of experience in claims, and for the most part, if somebody's had a total fire loss and they get canceled by the prior carrier, there was usually issues that prompted that. So that would be one of the things that we would not be willing to accept.
any discounts for preferred builders?
We have a program, it's called our Form 3 Advantage program, that does offer discounts for new homes and certain construction type. I'm not sure if that's exactly what they're asking on that, but that particular program, we have it on both the farm owners and the homeowners. And it does offer discounted rates.
Do you mortgage e-bill? And can we bind and bill the mortgage company on a new business submission?
Yes, and yes.
Great. I'm going to give it just a couple more seconds for anyone else that has any questions. I again appreciate, let's say, okay, how many prior losses are acceptable before binding?
They've had 2 claims in the past 3 years. It's probably something that would have to be submitted for consideration before binding. And again, that depends on the type of loss. Obviously certain losses are more concerning than others. Theft claims always bother me. I've seen so much fraudulent activity in theft claims. Those are quite concerning. And then anyone that has had a large loss for whatever reason, we consider larger losses, anything over $10,000, we would want to evaluate before binding the coverage on it.
Does that include act of God claims?
It would, but those are certainly evaluated on a whole different aspect of consideration, obviously.
Okay. Okay. I don't see any other questions coming in. At this time, if you are not a current IMS participant and you would like to submit an application to write through Carolina Farmers via IMS, I would invite you to go to our website. I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can see IMS. Just go to www.imsaccess.com and it will show you the current carriers that we have in place. Also, if you have any questions, please contact me. My number and email address are on the screen. Art and Angie, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate you being here, and I think that we are going to have a great partnership. And
Tina, there was one more question popped up. Actually, a couple more questions now. So,
okay. Is there any discount if the writing agency has the auto policy in the agency?
We have not done that as of yet, but it's on our radar and certainly a consideration that we may be offering some type of discount associated with that.
Okay, and then I know the commissions vary by product, new and renewal.
Yeah, our standard commission right now is 13% new and renewal.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. If any of you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy, if I can't answer it, to get in touch with Art and Angie and get them to weigh in on the question. But again, thank you everyone for your time today. And I hope that everyone stays safe and warm in this crazy weather we are getting. Oh, one more question. Any bonuses? Any contingency commissions?
We do have a newly developed contingency bonus program that was put in place 2 years ago, and it's performing very well. Obviously, there's certain criteria that has to be met in order for that to apply, but it is very competitive on the marketplace with what I've seen from other companies.
Angie or Art, is there anything else you would like to add before we conclude today?
Just one other real quick comment, in case anybody wants to see more about what Carolina Farmers is, they can certainly access our website, which is cfmic.net, and it has a good bit of information out there.
Yeah, and their information will be on our IMS website. We are hopefully going to be loading that in very soon. So again, thank you everyone, and especially thanks Art and Angie for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you all. We appreciate everybody that joined.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.